the woman with the black veil and the yellow nails to this day. Terrifying and inexplicable encounters with being spirits from other worlds are said to occur in the cemetery park of Tervel. Tervel is not just a town in Dobruja. It is a place where frightening legends breathe side by side with people. Here the boundary between reality and the beyond is thin, almost transparent. Like the fog that settles over the cemetery park, locals claim that strange and downright sinister events constantly take place around this area. One story in particular made our hair stand on end. A 40-year-old man recounted his experience to a local doctor who was kind enough to share it with us. Despite my professional work with him, when he starts talking about it, he begins to tremble. Months have passed since the incident, but the stress has not left him. His account is credible. The tests show normal brain function, yet the experience has left a very deep mark on his consciousness. With the doctor's assistance, our team established direct contact with the man, under the explicit condition that the video broadcast and the article would not reveal his real identity in such a small town. This would be disastrous for his reputation and employment among people who don't believe in such things. We called him Kosta Kalev, a man who earns his living through honest work, married with 2 children. He has a slender posture, a pleasant appearance, and a cheerful look. He greets us with a smile that vanishes from his face when the event of October 17, 2024 is mentioned, a date forever etched in his memory. With long, muddy nails, the day was cold. In the early evening, as fog began to descend, Kosta set out on business in his personal car toward the village of Besmer, 8 kilometers from town. The asphalt road winds past the Tervel cemetery. The car was traveling at 80 km/h when, after the roadside poplar tree, out of nowhere, a woman appeared. She was dressed entirely in black. I looked at her, but I couldn't see her face. It was covered with a black veil down to her waist. Her hands were filthy, with long, muddy nails caked with yellow soil. She wore white, dirty boots up to her knees, and looked like someone who had been digging in the earth. She waved her hand for me to stop. At the sight of the stranger, Kosta decided he would not pick her up, but something unexpected happened. I pressed the gas pedal, and the car wouldn't move. I realized something was wrong. I got scared, and the engine shut off exactly when I reached her. The car stopped. The woman got into the back seat and, in a commanding tone, said, "Drive!" I asked, "Where should I drive?" But she didn't answer. "From here you count 120 steps and dig." To Kosta's surprise, the car then moved off without any problem, and down in the lowlands, near the deserted area of Salamana, he heard the words, "Stop here. You're not saying anything. You're not asking for anything." Her voice was slightly hoarse, deep and sharp. At that moment I thought she came from the dead, among whom she had been digging and feeding. Horrified by this thought, Kosta froze and, having lost his mind and speech, muttered, "I don't want anything." To which the strange woman replied, "You should have asked." Then, as she got out of the car, she instructed him, "From here you count 120 steps and dig," and vanished into the night. Relieved of the unwanted presence, Costa floored the gas and reached the village of Besmer with the sole desire to return home safely. "I didn't dig, and I won't dig." He is categorical after the encounter with the strange woman. "I get chills just remembering her." The shaken man confesses honestly. It is curious whether Costa nonetheless found the courage, as he drove off, to see where the woman went. "I instinctively looked in the rearview mirror, but there was no one, neither on the road nor beside it." He continues after a short pause. "She disappeared as imperceptibly as she appeared, as if she had melted into the fog. Two go, one returns, in fact. This is not the only case in which a living person has encountered. Let us call them strange women near the cemetery park in Tervel. Locals also tell the story of two brothers who, on All Souls' Day, did not go to the cemetery in the morning as tradition dictates, but stayed until dusk. Then two female figures appeared to them. It is not known what they did to the two men, but one died, and the other returned to town in a severe psychological state, babbling words from which it became clear that he had experienced a terrifying encounter. Is it possible they saw spirits or beings from other worlds? The Wolf's Well. The history of Tervel preserves another intriguing legend as well. Long ago, during Ottoman rule, the settlement was called Kurtbener, meaning Wolf's Well, or the Wolf Spring, from Turkish. Locals tell of a pack of wolves that troubled people with their raids. A group of hunters eventually killed them, but one survived. The lone wolf wandered by itself. Thirsty, it roamed the dry lands of waterless Dobruja until it found a place where water sprang forth, the village well. It began to drink, but the spirits of its slain companions called to it. The animal leaned too far, fell into the well, and drowned. Later, villagers found its body and named the place Kurtbenar to commemorate the event. The place is said to possess a special power. The images of the deceased appear here, and some chosen people develop abilities to foresee events, to heal, and to help the community in which they live. One of them is Dinko Gospodinov, who told me how 3 lights and strange voices led him at midnight to the cemetery, on the day before his gift of divination through the spirits of the dead manifested itself. With his ability to see through the light of lit candles, he became famous not only in the town, but also among visitors from different parts of the country.